From water deep to Icewind Dale, unlikely friends fight tooth and scale. A little faith, a lot of rage, to bring the summer back again. Now roll the dice, see how they fall. Don't waste your action. Bonus action. Heroes, tortured and trapped within the mist, hunted by horrors from out the abyss. We've seen friends fall, but must endure, survive to see the sun once more. Now roll the dice, see how they fall. Don't waste your action. Heroes.
Hello and welcome to Bonus Action Heroes. Tonight we are returning to Out of the Abyss. Thank you for, I should say, shut up, Veronica, but she was perfect at the countdown. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Thank you. Yes, hello, welcome. How's everyone doing?
All good.
We're stuck at that. You were talking to the stream, and I was not to us.
I was talking to you all.
I know, but I realised that
right now.
like a millisecond. There was a pause. Oh shit, he's talking to us.
Hot and sweaty. Everyone's melting.
Yeah, it is quite warm, isn't it? At the moment, I've opened the window, but I think that's made it worse, not better. But yeah, so we've returned, second episode back in this arc, with the PCs heading to Blingdenstone, the Sverfneblin Deep Gnome city, once known as the City of Speaking Stones, but that is long ago in history. As you were sailing towards the city, Stevatar became aware of a ship pursuing a drow ship from all accounts, and it was somehow homing in on you despite you running dark and not being obvious. As the ship gained, it should have been much quicker, but was clearly being sailed poorly. You noticed that familiar face aboard, Buppido, the Darrow, who you believed you had already killed once, and I killed him quite effectively, I should add. I did go and check. With a crew of zombie drow and a few other strange creatures. But not having any of it, knowing you were going to be caught, you decided to even the playing field, luring Buppido and his ship through a series of shallows and islands where you did in fact get their ship to run aground whilst you all waited on an island to ambush them. And with some clever tactics, a well-timed spell from Drodin inside the ship causing gunpowder to explode, you now find yourselves on the island battling Buppido and these strange zombie creatures which seem to also contain swarms of worms. He's giving off a horrendous stench, his hands drip with corrosive acid, and we start back at the top of the round.
Oh, Buppido. Why do you do this?
And weirdly, it is a zombie's go. As you see a zombie clamber up out of the sea. You see its hair appear, and then its eyes, and then the mouth. And it slowly clambers up the rocky surface. Does not get much further. But I think Buppido is going to take a legendary action.
Legendary action.
Yeah, I was saving him. So,
You sneak and scoundrel.
got to be done, hasn't it?
He's no legend.
Realising that he's been outsmarted, and to be frank, he's dumb as a rock, so that's not hard, but you properly outmaneuvered him. And feeling that his unlife is close to being taken from him, he reaches out his hands. You see these strange worm-like creatures, suddenly the worms seem to get sucked out of them and just slam into him. You see his wounds begin to close.
Like the scene with Gladiator with the maggots. Feeling all the dead flesh from that was grim.
This is quite the opposite.
He's gained health. Wow.
He has gained health. However,
I'm sure we can do something about that.
his allies seem to weaken and lose health. So it was not without cost.
Question, does that cause them damage to undo, turn undead, which I did to them last round?
It does indeed, I'm afraid.
Balls. Okay.
Good shout.
Yeah, it is very, very fair of you to say so, because I actually thought of that last week after it happened. I was like, I'll use that and it'll break it. And I completely forgot tonight, so thanks. Thanks. But it is one of these things. Go now. It will clamber up. Lunge. It will claw a Derendil. That is a 10, which I think is a miss. And as it claws, you see the zombie's mouth open, and this worm just shoots out. Can someone roll me a DC 11 Dex saving throw, please? Oh, actually, do I need to hit first? He's fine. Okay. He bats it away. You see this worm. It doesn't look alive. It's definitely something wrong with it. It is grey and purple in places. It's got this round mouth with horrible teeth. Drodin.
Hello. It would be silly of me to fireball as much as I would like to, because Derendil and Serdi are in the way.
They can take it.
Maybe they could, but I don't want to risk it.
Fireball Sev!
I mean, you can do
He's
it near
next
the
to
back.
Malice.
I'm going to cast Scorching Ray, and I'm going to throw all of them at Buppido, because fuck him.
Nice. Okay.
And you know what? What can I... I'm going to replace the damage, just for fun, of Scorching Ray to psychic damage using my Order of Scribes feature.
Okay. Nice.
Because I like the psychicness. So 3 attacks against Buppido.
Yep.
It's 26. For 8 psychic damage.
Okay.
And then we'll do 2 more. Oh, tasty.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's 14 psychic damage. And then 1 more. No, that's probably a miss.
That is a miss even on him.
Well, 22 psychic damage.
Excellent. Very nice.
Decent.
Very nice.
At the very least, I probably taken away that health he just regained.
You have. You have literally done exactly that. Exactly that amount.
Nice. Get fucked, Buppido.
He is going to take a legendary action
Oh, you bastard.
after your go, unless you've got anything else you want to do.
Well, I was going to move, but then I looked at the map and went, there isn't any point in me moving anywhere, because I'm not going to get into a better position anywhere. But I might just sidestep to here.
Okay.
Job done.
Okay. Sidestep to there. As you hit him with with the raise, you just see him lock eyes with you, and one that's glowing red sort of flares for a second, and you just see this puff of green smoke from him, and the same erupts around you. Sorry, wrong one. And you find yourself swapping places with him.
Hey, bugger.
I haven't got a magic animation for that.
Oh, hello, Sadie.
And in that moment, as you swap places, you get this horrendous, noxious smell. It is absolutely vile.
I'm already poisoned.
You're already poisoned, but yeah, you recognise it.
Which, good point. Do I get to make a con save at the end of my turn to take off the poison, or is it just flat poison for however long?
I think you're flat poisoned.
Fair enough. I'm happy with that.
Happy is a
Any
strong
creature
word.
that starts its turn within 10 feet, it's for 1
Not
minute.
for me.
So it's 10 rounds. There is no repeat saving throw,
That's fair. All right.
I'm afraid.
As you were.
But yeah, you suddenly find yourself with Serdi pointing his weapon at you, and one of these worm creatures stood behind you, and Derendil with his claws ready. You realise he has gone.
Hello, Sadie.
Serdi.
What the? But she's. My God, Dred, what are you doing?
I didn't do anything. He's over there now.
I shall turn tail and run at him. What's my speed? I can't remember. There. I can get to him. Oh. I shall stab him with my Ikla.
That's the weapon I was going to say, but I didn't know how to say it.
Nope. Seems like last week has carried on to this week. I'll try again.
Oh,
Way!
That's better. What kind
So-
of damage is a Yliqua, whatever you called it? Yliqua?
Ikla.
Is it a dagger?
No, it's like a broad-bladed spear
Oh, nice.
with a hunter's mark on him as well. So it's
Roll damage.
pizza shovel.
Yeah. It's a D6 of acid of hunter's mark on there as well. So 13 damage.
13. Is any of that acid?
No.
Okay. Can you roll a DC 16 dex saving throw, please?
Right.
If you fail, you take all of that, and if you pass, you take half. So as you spear him, the wound just erupts with this acidic, there's this smell, this sort of acidic smell, and it spurts out of the wound, catches you on the skin, and begins to burn into you.
I'm resistant to acid, so
So half again. Yeah, so half, so 8. Anything else?
now no, not for me, but Ambrose will run in and try and bite him as well.
Okay.
Yes, go Ambrose.
Not bad. Eight.
So one of that. Oh, why don't you roll one dice? I rolled normal. Hang on a second.
You rolled 1 + 1.
I rolled normal dice. I rolled another D6.
It's already rolled 2d6. What's the extra d6 for?
One's acid damage and one is
Okay.
normal damage. So
Okay.
that is the added. So it's 10. So It's
Well,
12 normal.
he's immune to acid, so
Okay, so just 10 normal. 12 normal damage then.
12. Okay.
That's really
Need to
sorry.
roll another dex save, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
You're the right person to be stood there, Serdy, I've got to say.
You are.
So
Yes, that's 10.
but she's also resistant to acid.
Yeah.
Well, she's immune to acid damage in actual
Yes,
fact.
she won't take anything, I think. So it's 10 damage if you're resistant. If you've passed the save, half. Oh, you need to as well,
Oh,
Serdy, I'm afraid, because you're within 5 feet of him. Yeah, every time you hit him.
Sorry. Okay.
I assume it's piercing.
Yeah.
Oof, yeah. So you take half again. So you take 2. So it'd be half would be 5, half again 2. So 2 points. Not bad, really.
The right person to be stood there next to him, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Do the
Yes.
concentration check.
See a zombie walk towards the edge of the ship and just drop off into the water. Sev.
Okay, I'll try and stay outside of the stink zone, so try and get a bit closer and then go, oh, no. And while Serdy and the Drake are kind of harrying Buppido and keeping him distracted, I'll try and stick my tongue out and get a shot off that perhaps do the perfect amount of damage. So let's see. It's with advantage, right?
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. Which one are you shooting?
Buppido, sorry.
Oh, Buppido. Okay.
So 11 damage from the short bow.
Yeah.
Piercing. And then try and do a bit of sneak attack. And 12 sneak attack damage.
Okay, how do you want to do it?
Oh!
And Tom
well,
will roll another dex save. Sorry, Tom.
I was aiming to try and do the most amount of damage possible. So just as he kind of turned his head to focus back to Serdy again, as his glowing red eye comes into view, arrow just goes straight through.
Nice. The arrow goes through, and you see him starting to melt. He stays standing. He seems to still be looking at you, but starts to melt. The arrow has pierced him. It's gone right through. And he will turn to Malice. Your hate is like a beacon. And then he just splats into the ground. Just this green ichor. And he's gone. Anything else?
All the other threats still there.
They
still
are.
behaving as I would expect.
Appear to be.
I will just turn and knock another arrow. Ready.
Okay. Darendil.
What's Matt? What's the damage I'm taking from the acid that you?
Oh, sorry. Did you fail?
I passed,
Pass.
but I'll still take something one time.
14.
3.
Obviously halved. That is a. Which one are you attacking?
The one that's near death.
Okay, it's a hit.
Oh!
Okay, not bad, not bad.
Still near death. Fine.
It's a little
Cool.
bit nearer death, though.
Is that the what's second attack? Yes. Rams his claw straight through and rips through this thing. Second one. How does he want to do it?
I imagine as they're in a state of decomposition, he
Mhm.
takes his claw through the stomach, and easily the guts fall out, and the rest of it falls down the edge of the cliff.
Okay. Yeah, he rips through it. You see these worms pouring out. They're absolutely vile. They're squirming and swarming all over it. And it does fall back, drops down, and hits the ledge below. Anything else?
That's all Darendil can do, but then it is Tink's turn.
And it is Tink.
If I move here, am I still within 30 feet of my friend Malice? I believe I am. Yes, I am. We will shocking grasp.
Okay, go for it.
We will not.
That is a hit.
Grasp. We
Here's
will
a hit.
shocking grasp.
It is slow. It is not moving very quickly. 11. Nice. Yeah, you see some of the worms drop from it. You actually see there is a zombie underneath there. You see its face for a moment, and then they continue to swarm and burrow through it. Anything else? Hello, Davy.
I assume it can't be frightened.
You can try.
Well, whenever I hit something with my form of dread up, it has to make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened.
It appears to be undead, but it's not as if you would have seen anything like this before. So, doesn't seem conscious is all I will say. It doesn't seem to have a mind as such. Okay. Okay. Looking through this. You see another drow, dead, neck cricked over to the side, staggering up the hill. I'm gonna have it dash, I think. But it cannot attack. The zombie that Darendil gutted and pushed off the cliff, you see the worms didn't quite hit the water, start to swarm around it again and seem to burrow into the skin, and you see it start to rise and start to stand again. Seems to regenerate, and it will stagger back up the hill and go for Tink. First of all, it claws at you.
I was kicked out, so I can't see.
Oh. Okay. That is a 19 to hit. I'm going to assume that hits with 9 points of damage. Started to rain here.
I'm back in.
9 points of damage. And as it claws you again, you see the worms part the face of this rictus face of a drow. The jaw opens and you just see this worm launch straight at you.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, it's too late. Is this an
What's
attack?
that?
Is this
Yes.
an attack saving and not saving a roll? Attack roll.
This isn't, no, this is a saving throw.
Okay.
So roll it. It's only a DC 11 dexterity saving throw. Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
No, that's not that. That's protection from good and evil goes down.
Oh, okay.
Which I should have used on that
Should-
hit. But
should
I
I-
forgot.
Should I have been... Well, I can roll again,
Yeah,
see
I
if I
forgot.
miss. That's all right. It was last week. I'm going to roll another attack roll. Yeah, no. That was a crit. So it would have still hit without the crit.
I
So
saved,
you...
I did a 19.
Okay. You did a 19. Okay. So the worm does not. You can see it kind of latches onto you and tries to burrow under some of the plates. But you brush it off, drop it onto the ground where you see it squirming. Which is probably good because those things are quite nasty. Zombie.
Oh,
Another zombie just lurches to the edge and just disappears overboard the ship. Malice, you are up.
So with Buppido calling out to her, I think she watches Buppido disintegrate or melt or whatever the frick happened to that weirdo, turns around, sees Tink being attacked, and with that I am going to drop concentration on control water and cast I think her eyes and her mouth fill with black speckles, and they start to move away from her as she casts Spirit Guardians, which I'm going to place there. So for
Can you place?
Oh, one second. No, it's
Guardians?
no. Sorry, it gave me a thing to place, but then it's around me.
Okay.
So it's that was why I was a bit confused. So ignore the but then I will.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, it should stick with you.
Yeah.
Okay, you rush forward. What do your Spirit Guardians look like? Just out of interest.
Little spores, mushroom spores,
Nice.
little black specks.
in fact, the graphic's quite apt, actually, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's spot on, isn't it? Okay, so it's a dex saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Fail on that one. Zombie? No way. And then I can't believe a zombie passed. And then on the other worm infested thing. So both of the worm infested things fail. Do you want to roll damage?
And then the zombie still takes half.
Yeah.
That's not good. 5.
What kind of damage is that?
I think I'm neutral, so is it radiant if neutral? Let me just check to make sure.
I think you can choose.
Yeah, but I think I went with the fact that Malice for a drow is quite a neutral person, so I thought I'd let her just have that. Yeah, radiant.
Radiant, perfect. I'm asking because it's relevant.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Tink, Drodin, Derendil suddenly become aware of these spores swirling around and Malice running up. You can see the spores aren't harming you, but they are ripping through these creatures, tearing pieces off them.
There's nothing else I can do. I've got no bonus action, so that's the end of my go.
It's pretty decent.
It's a good move, and that's up now. So every turn. This zombie is gonna run in. I guess it's a dex save again for your spores. Do you want to roll damage again for your Spirit Guardians?
Oh, that was better.
Yeah, it was nice. You see it clamber up the hill and go for Derendil, and as it does, you see pieces of it being torn away. Definitely hurting it a lot more than the previous, but it does slam into Derendil. It is a 17 to hit for 5 points of bludgeoning damage, I think it is. Okay, I'll do it. Born of Caius. They're just going to claw at Derendil. I've just read it and I've been doing it wrong, but that's okay. 13, does that hit Derendil? Second claw attack. So 19. I think they both hit. Yeah, 13 is his armor class. So that is 16 on the first. 15. Derendil goes down.
That's a lot of
I'm
blood.
afraid. Yeah, the worm's rubbish. I just use the claws. And it will spit a worm at Tink because she's up. Do you want to? Are you able to roll a dex save or?
No.
Okay. It's a 20. You're fine. Drodin.
Hello. I think, for the sake of, let's cast a 3rd level Scorching Ray, because then I can hit each of them once at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So this one first.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Good. It's 11 fire damage to that one.
11 fire damage. How do you want to do it?
It's just going to be like a quick bolt of fire that just like slams straight through the head of it, or what the head would be,
Mm-hmm.
presumably. And all of the worms just start kind of like collapsing. They kind of lose cohesion and just start curling up as they collapse into the ground and fall to pieces.
You see it drop, and you can see the worms moving in panic, as they did when Tink killed it. But the combination of the fire and the spiritual guardians seem to just rip into these things and prevent it from regenerating.
Am I within 5 feet?
Yes,
Is it possible to take its soul? Does it have one?
it does not have a soul. I am afraid.
I am going
Derendil's
to...
got one. Just checking.
Right. The next set of
Say no.
the next set of worms. This is a 13.
Hits.
Oh, I didn't think it would. Oh, the worst
Oh,
damage I
dear.
could roll.
Snake eyes.
Yep.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Yep.
You got one left?
I've got 2 left because I upcast.
2. Nice.
Zombie, 16.
Yes. Come on, roll good.
5 fire. And then last one. It's a dirty
Oh,
20.
yeah. It'll do.
An absolutely filthy 20. Oh, and snake eyes again.
No!
Fuck's sake.
Oh dear.
Fuck these dice.
Not good.
But also, I'm no longer in engagement range with anything, so I'm going to get the fuck out of there.
Good call.
Can I just ask,
true wizard.
did the remaining spawn of Caius, or whatever it's called, do a save for starting its turn in my Spirit Guardians?
You are right. Let's do another one. That's a fail. Roll damage.
Hey. Which means I've got to find my Spirit Guardians again. Oh, let's just do it out the thing. Be easier.
What Spirit Guardians is? It is.
It's a DC 14 Wisdom save.
It's failed. You rolled a
yeah.
1.
And then 9 Radiant.
9. Nice. It's looking bad, and you can see as your Spirit Guardians rip into it. You realise before that whenever it was being damaged, the worms seemed to reproduce insanely quickly, but the radiant damage and the fire damage is definitely preventing it doing that. So sorry about that. Serdi.
So I see Buppido drop and I turn around to see how the battle's going the other way and see Derendil on the ground and say, "Come on, Bruce, we are not done." And I shall turn and run towards the zombie that I can see next to Darendel. As I do so, I shall drop Hunter's Mark and I shall cast Healing Spirit. So as I'm running out to my shield, you see like it's like a dragon, but more like if you can imagine like a worm kind of dragon. It's sort of floating in the air and moving around like a snake, and it roils around Darendil and heals him for 1d6. One health.
He is conscious though. Seems to come to. Nice. Anything else?
I shall stab at the zombie.
Okay, go for it. Oh yes, that's a hit. 22.
Ambrose is going to use his action to add a d6 of acid damage to this.
Nice.
That's 4 acid damage and 11 normal.
It's not resistant to acid.
And then I shall stab him again.
Yes. 20. Go. Yeah, roll damage.
So another 8 piercing damage.
How do you want to do it?
I shall just stab him in the stomach with the first strike, and then as he's sort of recoiling from that, I shall stab up and through the chin and up through his head with the other one, and I'll shake him and kick him off my spear.
He's gone. Stops moving. So the adding damage is that.
That's the action. So I'm going to just move her towards me now with her movement, and that'll be her turn.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Right. Zombie. Sev.
Okay. So is that worm thing's gone now, right?
One of them has, yeah. There is still another one.
Oh, there is. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Badly injured. Oh, right. Okay. I will fire an arrow at wormy guy.
Okay. Yep.
Arrow knocked. $19.
Oh yeah.
And it will hit for 11 damage.
Yep.
Do we need sneak attack?
Can do sneak. Well, if you want to kill it, you do.
Okay. I want to kill it. I want to kill it. 15 sneak attack.
Okay, so that's what, 26 altogether.
Yes.
Do you know how much you needed to kill it?
27.
26.
Oh, nice.
How do you want to do it?
The arrow will sail through, and it almost looks like it doesn't have any effect. It sort of comes through the other side. A few worms kind of drop out with it, but it stops moving in the same way, and it just kind of slumps and spills out into a non-cohesive pile of worms that slowly wither.
And what's left of it, the spiritual guardians just rip through and it stops moving. The worms stop moving as well. And it is dead. It is down. Darendil has 1 hit point. Does anyone want to control him? I guess he's just going to attack a zombie, is he?
Yeah, if we get up and attack that zombie would be a good shout.
Okay. We'll do 2 claw attacks then. So 13. And a 7. Oh dear, 7. He has just been put down, so bound to be a bit woozy, but he does manage to hit with 1 claw, but he actually does more damage when he's got less than 10 hit points, so
Oh.
does a whole A whole 6 points of damage. I didn't say he did a lot of damage.
Well,
It's nearly enough to take it down, but
chances
not
there.
quite. Yeah. Tink. Oh, is she gone?
Yeah, she's dropped out of it.
Okay. See if she's messaged us and says what she wants to do. What do you think she would do? Cantrip?
Yes. You got something she can tap it with?
Shocking grasp. Yeah. That's a hit. She moves forward, grabs the zombie by the head. You see the electricity pulse through it, spasms, and then drops.
It does like a Green Mile.
Yeah. Yeah. And with that, I think we are out of combat.
Wow.
I shall keep my healing spirit buzzing around Darendil, and it'll expend the last 3 charges to do another 3d6 healing on him.
Okay.
The 12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay. Battle is over. No more zombies climb out of the sea. Although they dropped off the ship and into the water, it seems without anyone to guide them, they have perhaps remained on the bottom or wandered off or were carried away by the currents. The worms are all dead. The drow zombies stop moving.
Should we check the ship?
Yeah, was there anything left of Darendil, or was he just a goopy mess? Or Darendil, Buppido, sorry.
There is literally a few bones and a puddle of acid. There's nothing remains.
What was that creature? You said you knew him.
Someone we escaped Falcon Valve with.
A
Seems
vile,
like it was
wretched thing.
a lot bigger at that time. There was more of us.
It was disgusting.
He was more rotten this time, I must say. I know he has the power of a god behind him. It is quite concerning, and I do feel that he might come back.
I'll signal to Hemeth. The all clear.
But I have to say, what splendid leadership, Captain Tink. I mean, this could have gone much worse. I mean, this was a perfect plan for this ship.
Darendil will sit up and go, I have to agree. Was it me, or did those things hit a lot harder once he went down?
You're okay, old chap.
Yeah, thanks to you. Is everyone okay?
Bit hurt, but nothing I can't shake off with a bit of a rest. But
Should we take 10 minutes?
I'll stay on watch. I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll take watch while you guys rest if you want to take time.
well,
So who is... I'm unharmed. Tink is unharmed. Oh, okay. I won't bother with prayer of healing then.
it's just me and Darendil that took what I hit there, but it was quite good. That's what we're there for.
I mean, you could take a short rest if you want. You've got time. It will take Hemeth a while to maneuver the ship back safely. The passage that you came through is now blocked by this galleon, which has run aground. and is now taking on water with a hole in the side, starting to list.
Better get in. If we're going to search it, better get in quick and do it. So I'll head over and try and leap across to the deck and
Good idea.
see if there's
Because
anything that can be seen.
salvage anything.
4 points of healing for Darrendale. Completely pointless, but oh well.
I'm sure he feels differently.
Also, it's just started completely storming here, so my sound might get a bit weird.
No worries, it's raining here as well. It's quite nice. Yeah, as you move across to the ship, it is quite a leap, but you are a stealthy sort. It appears to be, well, it was a relatively new drow galleon. There was a cannon on the port side, I think it is, but that is now gone and into the sea in the explosion. But you do see a cannon on the opposite side, and at the rear you can see what looks like a ballista. A number of bolts. There is not a lot else to be seen. Obviously the sails are still intact. It depends whether you want to go into the ship. It is starting to list, although it doesn't seem able to fully sink. It is leaning to one side now.
Will I take that cannon?
How are you going to take a cannon?
I could cast levitate on the cannon.
How heavy can you levitate?
I don't know. Let me find levitate.
Wingardium.
Guardium
Leviosa.
Leviosa. Terrible, terrible joke. But relevant. Up to 500 pounds.
Okay, it is. I'm going to have to look it up. How heavy is it then?
499 pounds.
Yeah.
0.9.
Well, apparently the cannonballs are 32 kilograms on their own. 32 pounds, 15 kilograms on their own. That's interesting, isn't it? Pretty heavy. Hang on, sorry. They're a lot heavier, unfortunately.
Too heavy for levitate.
What did you say? 500 pounds?
Yeah.
How heavy is a? Yeah, it's coming up with loads of. Apparently, they're like over a ton. I'm not saying you can't get it. I'm just saying I'm not sure you can levitate it. You could if multiple of you did it, maybe.
What about the
Worth-
cantrip thing?
worth a
Has
hope.
anyone got that?
Cantrip thing.
I think it's cantrip or first level. The little floaty platform thing. That can take a bit more weight, can't it?
Oh, the floating disc.
This floating disc.
Teen's floating disc. That's the one. I thought I had it, but apparently I don't. Which is a slight bugger. Oh, it's storming here a little bit now as well, actually.
This floating disc is 500 pounds as well.
So, unfortunately, much as I would love to take the cannon, I suppose it's staying here.
Yeah, it's 1,500 kilograms. D&D. 3,400 pounds.
Ballista? Lighter?
Can I?
So yeah,
start looking-
definitely. The ballista definitely within that range. Sorry, Hazel.
No, it's okay. they will have to be able to move these are they movable cannons or are they actually built into the ship?
They do have wheels and such, yeah, so they are
Mhm.
movable. But they would have been put on the ship with a a crane and a hoist and
Yeah.
multiple
Dock.
people in dock. Yeah, they're not easily moved or not easily lifted.
Is there on the ship? Is there the apparatus for lowering dinghies, like lifesaver boats kind of things?
You have a look around, and there are no dinghies.
But is there the apparatus for it?
I mean, there's the rigging, there's sails, there's ropes. Yeah, there's all the
But there's
things you would
not the bit that
expect.
goes over the side that lowers the heights and lowers the dinghies.
No, because drow
It's
ships
set up for that.
drow don't care
Yeah.
enough about their crew to save them if the ship's going down.
Dickheads.
That's it.
Well, can we,
They are dickheads. Yeah.
or somebody with maybe Drodin, somebody with a bit more intelligence can sort of MacGyver it. And we've got rope and we've got bits of wood and
Yeah, I think with it combination, it's probably doable.
while they're figuring that out, I'll head below before the water gets too high,
Okay.
just to see. Off chance.
Okay.
I'd also like to look, if possible,
Mhm.
and if there is anything, I've been keeping an eye out for any kind of iconography, if there's any indication of who this ship used to belong to. If that's, maybe it's not even relevant, but
Okay. No, that's fine. Apparently my camera's wandering. I don't know why. There we go. Thanks, Tom. You've run through the ship. I mean, it is taking on water, but it's not sinking because it's grounded. It's just listing. You managed to find a logbook in the captain's quarters. You see a female drow actually slumped in the chair, not moving. She has a white robe with black spider webs on, and then you can see blood seeping through it, and then this sort of green stain, and the fabric has started to disintegrate.
Do I recognise her?
Yeah, it's Asher.
do you have anything useful on her?
She's wearing scale mail, from what you can see. Finely made scale mail armor. It is incredibly black. Just seems not to reflect light in any way. She has a pouch on her belt with a number of potions in, and a pouch with a number of scrolls in as well.
Take the potions and the scrolls, and I'll just shout about the scale mail in case it's useful for anyone, but I won't take it, just in case. Oh, looks like Serdi. I'll grab it for you, Serdi.
Thank you, chap.
I mean, Malice, do you want to do that? I don't feel comfortable taking clothes off this dead lady. Never mind, it's
Okay.
okay. I'll close my eyes, it's fine.
I'll help unclothe her.
Okay. Yeah, the scrolls. I'll put those in your inventory, Steve.
Well, I'm guessing that they're only going to be useful to the spellcasters, so if you want to give them to whoever's they're more useful for, then cut out the middleman.
Okay.
Suddenly thought I have a kobold, scaly kobold with black scales. If I put on black scale mail, I'll kind of look naked.
Scrolls. I'll put those in. I've put those in your inventory anyway. There you go.
Lovely, lovely.
There is also a chest which has 306 gold and a couple of gems, tourmaline, worth about 50 gold each. So there's 2 of those.
Nice.
If anyone wants to make a note of those. There is also 4 smallish. Well, no, actually no, because it blew up one side of the ship. There are two smallish kegs of black powder and 1 large one. Just take a note of that in party loot or whatever you want to call it. There's no item for it. It's just allows you to fire the cannons.
During all this time, could I have tried to jury-rig a little system for getting the remaining cannon up onto this little island that we were on? Probably using leftover bits of plank debris and the immovable rod and etc.
Yeah. Talk me through how you're going to do it. Explain it. I'm happy for it to happen. Just tell us what you're planning to do.
I'm thinking I would probably try and fashion a little makeshift bridge to roll the cannon across onto the island, using bits of scattered debris and other bits of wood that I can pry from either from like the deck or anywhere else on the ship. And concerned about the distance from the edge of the ship, like the gunwale to the island, I'd probably bolster it in the middle with the immovable rod, which can hold 8,000 pounds, I think.
It can.
So that it doesn't dip too much in the middle and then cause the thing to break, and then we lose the cannon in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would probably ask for a bit of help with like from Darendil or someone big and burly to try and like hoist it on there, and then like just gradually move it over a little bit at a time. Hastened the whole process of building this little bridge with Mage Hand, so I would have an extra hand to get everything done with.
Mm-hmm.
Just try and slowly piece things together to make a little makeshift bridge. And I'm trying to think. If only it was lighter, I could have just used catapult and fired it.
I mean, it is a big cannon. It is a big cannon. Where as Hemith brings the ship closer, and you're trying to get it close enough that you can move it across, but not so close that you get grounded as well. It is a challenge, but with the combination of magic and just sheer brute strength, you do manage to get it onto your ship. As you lower it onto your ship, you realise just how big it is compared to your boat.
Does the boat dip on one side?
It does, and you find yourself putting it kind of in the middle so that it doesn't unbalance it, or maybe you need to move some of the things you've got stored to one side to sort of balance this cannon. It will change the view so you get an idea of how big it is. You take time to rest, bind your wounds, have a short rest if you wish. You get the cannon on deck and you begin to make preparations to continue your journey. I've also put I've put all the bottles that you found in your inventory, Steve. Some of it you think is probably poison.
Because Asher was on that ship,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean that is the ship that has been following us since the start?
Quite possibly. There is a logbook.
I will take the logbook.
Mm-hmm.
Any other documentation that seems interesting at this point, and I'll spend more time looking at it once we're back settled on our own.
Okay. Yeah, you did see Sevatar take a few scrolls. There doesn't seem to be any other documentation, just this logbook. But as you're leaving, you sort of have a thought. Remember what you used to do. You slide one of the drawers open, which is empty, and then feel underneath, and you find a very small book, which, with a quick flick, it appears to be some kind of diary that Asher was keeping. It's quite a new book. It doesn't look like it's got many entries, but it might give you some insight.
I'll put that away on an inner pocket rather than just carrying it openly.
Mm-hmm. Where-
Odin, I've got these bits of paper. Got these magical symbols on. Can't read them. I think they're probably, if not for you, you'd at least be able to see what they are. Take a look.
I can give them a little skim over and identify anything if necessary. Thank you very much, Sevatar.
I don't know how to give things.
I can transfer them back. If you, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not gonna enforce this idea that you can't use a scroll unless you're a caster. So I'm happy for you to know what they are, Steve. They will probably have the name of them written at the top in common.
They've got the name written on them, but it doesn't describe what they do.
No.
So it
So you
doesn't,
wanna-
it doesn't have the rules in the description.
It'll be under one of them's under loot. Does. Oh yeah, it doesn't have the. Oh, I'll sort that for you.
Yeah, no worries.
But it's Ashardalon's Stride and what's the other one?
Protection against
Protection
fiends.
against fiends. Yeah.
Which I'm sure will come in useful.
Most definitely. Where to then? Do we continuing to Blingdenstone or?
Yeah, we should, I think. What's the plan?
Very good, very good. Right, if everyone is ready and rested, we will head out. You might want to decide where you want this cannon putting. It's quite big.
So how do we feel about just leaving the boat to rot and sink over time? Should we maybe speed up the process?
You could set fire to what's above the water, I suppose.
Might just be safer rather than leaving a trail.
Good idea. Just set fire to the rigging and let nature take its course. Did you say there was some armor then, Seth?
Oh yeah. If you want to try it, see if it's useful for you. There you go.
Try it on size. It's very pretty. Spent some time getting to know it.
Okay. I am afraid it's not magical.
It's better looking than my current scale mail armor.
But it is very quiet.
Ooh.
And it's painted in that black 3.0 or whatever it's called.
Yeah. It is incredibly non-reflective. It has been coated with something which seems to, impact how easy it is to see. So, although it is not magical, it gives you +1 to stealth.
Oh.
So I can put that in your character sheet.
Thank you.
Okay, does anyone want to do anything?
Actually, if I could, I'd like to. We've got a map. I'd like to ask if somebody got a map of the lake region and
I have a partial map.
partial map. I shall try and see if I can spend some time copying it onto some paper from Droden if I can borrow some. If he's got some, borrow some, have some. And I'll try and talk to Hemeth and see if I can get an idea of the size and the distances involved around the lake. We can fill in the gaps a little bit around the lake.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do is put the basics down for a map where all the towns are and distances, and I want to use the compass every day to look for portals between realms. I'm looking to see how the demons are getting into the Underdark. So if I use it every day, I can perhaps triangulate different portals between different. I won't be able to tell what they are, I don't think, but at least where there is travel between realms, and then they're worth investigating.
Okay.
Smart.
Okay. Well, Hemeth will. Sorry, go on.
So I do have a partial map, don't I? Like, I'm sure I do. I just can't find it.
You did have a partial map, but
And I think
most
I
of what's on
shared
your
it with
map is
everyone.
what was on your map is now on the
On
main map, effectively.
yeah, I was just trying to see what it was because I've also then got like the day's distance between the different places. So if I could help Serdi with that, I'd be quite happy to. I can maybe fill in some of the drow stuff, the routes they would take.
Yeah, there's your partial map.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can do it once a day, so it tells me within 5 miles if there are any portals between. So if I do it, know where we are, and I can sort of use the compass to build up a picture of where there's travel, and we can investigate them later if anything comes up that we don't know about.
So where you are now, as you came up from Grak, you found that ice sheet, you saw some portals, and then travelled through the ice, carried on to Neverlight Grove, if I'm getting this the right way around, and then you begin to travel towards Blingdenstone. At the moment when you use the compass, the only thing you can still, today at least, you can detect this portal behind you and to the south, which you think is those portals that you saw in the ice cave.
So from what I'll do, Matt, if it's okay, is the beginning of the day, every day now, I shall use it if we're travelling. So I'll try and remember to ask, and just to sort of prepare you to see if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I will make a note on the map of where that portal is.
As we're just travelling the last portion of the journey, I'd like to try and find some time when Malice is perhaps on her own or over to one side and go and speak to her.
I will be spending quite a lot of time in the morgue reading Asher's diary, so plenty of opportunity.
Malice, hope I'm not intruding too much. Not too busy.
No, not at all. And quickly folding some stuff away and rearranging.
I just wanted to talk to you. I guess not in front of the others, just in case it was. Anyway, I'm not sure if anybody else caught it, but what Buppido said before he died again, I caught, and he seemed to be looking directly at you. It seemed that he was tracking you. You were the beacon. What do you make of that?
Know about as much of this as you do. However, if he is the champion of Orcus, it would appear that the being that I follow and the being that he follows are in opposition with each other.
Right.
So I wonder if there's a connection there in a way. I've been...
He said your hate. Mentioned about your hate.
Well, I do hate him quite
Sure,
generously, I must say.
I think we're all somewhere near there. Who the being you follow? Tell me more about him, her, it. I'm not familiar with drow deities.
To her,
Well,
not
I mean,
even the drow.
Lolth, of course, everyone knows about Lolth.
Yes, and then you've got the one that Drodin follows, and I was a follower of Lolth before all this started, but I was offered a change, and as far as I knew, my deity, the one I follow now, was dead. And had been dead to the drow for some time. There'd been stories, of course. It's difficult to get away from that growing up in the priestesshood, but I actually don't know that much. She is linked to death, and what happens after that, but to tell you the truth, I don't really... I've always just followed what I've been told, and...
But not this time. You were given a choice. So you decided who to follow.
But I didn't really have that much choice.
How so?
There were 3 voices, 3 hands that reached out to me in that vision, one of which I could not accept. I could not say...
It's Lolth, right?
Yes, with Lolth.
I understand that.
The one that Drodin follows, was not a good fit for me. We have different beliefs and differing opinions, and it felt at the time that I made the right decision. I thought that she was the goddess of death. But I feel that maybe, rather than goddess of the dead, that she might be goddess of the undead. She keeps telling me she'll give me an army of undead. I don't need an army of undead.
So, are you having doubts then?
As much as I always do, I've never truly believed in any of the gods as much as I have to believe in them because they exist.
Sure.
Um,
And are you limited to the Drow Pantheon?
I don't know, but it's all I have known. This is the most variety of people I have ever met. The most diverse meeting of minds that was my first real interaction was in that prison cell.
Choice is one of the hardest aspects of being free.
I know. And at that point, she'll start going through some of the papers, and you'll see her pull out the HR binder that she's got. She's like, "Do you know that a lot of goblins just completely don't believe in gods. Well, they believe that there are gods, but they don't care for them. One of them follows a god that they've just completely made up as well, and believes that if they believe in it enough, it becomes a god. And then Buppido is following Orcus, and then you have your deity, and there's so much, and there's so many, and you'll notice that in the HR binder, while she's got like funeral preparations, she's actually started mapping out different gods and what they stand for. She's kind of using the HR thing to inform herself about different beliefs. Maybe find something a bit more suited to her.
That's a good idea. I was going to say or suggest maybe that rather than pick from what you believe is available, just come at it from the other way, and decide. Start from you as the starting point, and what are your beliefs? What are your ideals? And then search for the god that fits that description, rather than pick one that is a compromise that kind of fits from what you're aware of.
Bev,
Yeah.
do you believe in your god?
Yeah.
You don't just follow them.
I don't just follow. Gods are way beyond the likes of us to understand, but in my limited experience, they are very strong toddlers. They're can be very selfish, self-centered, believe, and in some cases it's true, the world revolves around them. That doesn't necessarily make them bad if their goals and ideals match yours. And so I believe in my God. Some things are a little distasteful, but I believe ultimately and overall, all things considered, the work she does and has me do is for good.
I'm not sure that I quite know what I believe.
I'm conscious that I don't want to push you in any one direction. But I want you to know I'm just glad to hear that you are still thinking things over. That's all.
It's a new thing for me. I'm not sure I'm going about it the right way. But I have appreciated this talk. Would you at some point be willing to answer a few questions regarding your deity?
Of course. Like I say, I'm no priest, I'm no cleric.
But you
So
believe.
I'm no expert, but I have a solid relationship, shall we say, with my deity.
Quite often, for a lot more than a priesthood does. I'd given my life to a priesthood in a god that I had no faith in.
Yeah, it's more common than you may realise.
I am unfortunately aware. It's a power trip and highly problematic, but let's not talk about the issues of faith.
Sure. Well, listen, thanks for your time. I don't want to take up any more. I can see that you're busy, so good to talk. And if you want to talk further, then by all means, come and find me out. Take care, and I'll turn around and leave.
As he's starting to leave, I will just say, Sev, thank you for your consideration.
You're welcome anytime.
Okay. As Sev leaves, you're sat flicking through Ash's book. You look down and you see a passage, and it just says Ilvara's lost her mind. I almost envy these. I almost envy these prisoners. They found freedom. Took the brave step to leave. There has to be more to life than this. I know the wizard knew a way to the surface. Perhaps I could make amends. Perhaps they would show me a way out, a better life. Escape the web. And then it sort of continues on with just logs, and Alvara ordered us to head to Neverlight Grove. She has gone ahead to Blingdenstone in hope of catching them there. Had a strange fae. Witnessed an ice sheet. We killed her troll. We destroyed her house. We sent her back to the Feywild where she belongs. And I wonder now if that was the right thing to do. Perhaps there is a better way. And that's the last entry.
No mention of Buppido or a Buppido-like character joining the... Okay. I think if anyone is near the hatch into the morgue, they will probably, for a short amount of time, only a couple minutes, just hear the faint sound of crying. And then she'll appear back upstairs after a few moments, as normal.
Anyone else? Anything that anyone else wants to do?
For me,
I imagine Dryden would just be shut in his little room on the Yasva, and he'd be kind of just like doodling concepts and ideas into a little book, whilst occasionally flicking through little notes of Victor's, probably making like little blueprints and kind of like mapping out ideas for kind of like enchanting various items and creating magical items. And yes, and unless he's disturbed, he's not going to go do a great deal, I imagine. Just keep to the book.
Okay, give me an Arcana check.
Oh dear. I wasn't expecting to have to do an Arcana check, you little bastard. Yes. That's acrobatics. There we go. It's a 16.
Yeah, you've been pondering this element that he seems to have built into Tink's heart and Yasva's heart, indeed. That if he should fall, that he may well be able to transfer his soul into their bodies and take over their bodies. You're desperately trying to think of a way that you could block this or stop this, but at the moment you can't think of any way that wouldn't kill them.
And also probably spend a little bit of time occasionally getting distracted with other ideas, trying to focus on that. And I imagine at some point one of the little distractions that would creep in is like, what if I could mount one of those hearts on the cannon? Like, instead of having the heart be a bomb, make the heart feel like one semi-nuclear cannon shot. And again, no, that's insane and completely wasteful and incredibly destructive. I'll keep penning this thing.
You could do it, but it would probably, you'd have to find a way to keep them alive without their hearts. Not impossible, but not something you're quite ready for yet.
I'm going to start looking at how Victor came up with the heart and the blueprints for it, and I go, what if I can make a heart without the soul bomb aspect?
Yeah, it will take a while, and we will do regular Arcana checks as you try and work through that puzzle and come up with a way to free them. The other dilemma you're pondering is with Yasva. It seems with Tink that perhaps she isn't the dwarf that she was led to believe she was. She is someone else, something else. But Yasva indeed was a drow that you knew and had a relationship for many years. And you wonder whether you could put her back in her body. But the only way, again with that role, the only way you can think of would be perhaps to kill her and have a cleric try and resurrect her in her previous body. But it would be risky because you would have to kill her.
Well, we talked about this to some extent last week as well. We talked about Victor's strange little helmet. So that allows him to scoop around. So I'd still be trying to think of the idea of maybe we can use that somehow to reverse engineer putting people back in their correct bodies. It's just a lot of very furious research if anyone pokes their head in to see Droden, and basically just him scribbling in a book while looking at a different book and screaming.
Everyone's having an emotional time. Anyone else?
How long is this journey going to take?
At the moment, the wind is with you, probably another day and a half.
Okay, so that's plenty of time. I will go find Tink and I will tell her what I've read in the diary about. Was it Elvira that went to Blingdenstone? Just to make sure I got my notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll say that we're heading to Blingdenstone. There are already drow there. I will also inform her of the destruction of the Fae house, the troll, and maybe the Fae, but I don't think that was in the thing.
Oh, good. We have a welcoming party when we get there.
Yes, though at least they don't have backup, but I'm quite concerned over the fact that Asher, the vindictive little hag that she is, was concerned that Elvira was losing what mind she had left.
Either that makes her incredibly reckless and we can use that to our advantage, or that makes her incredibly reckless and she will do anything to hunt us down and kill us. Do we know whether drow are tolerated in Blingdenstone?
Do we know of her?
Drodin's talked about having been there for a few months before.
Usually,
You
no.
also had the interaction with someone who was like, "You took my home from me," didn't you?
Blingdenstone was. So I think Drodin did talk about this. In the past, Blingdenstone was very insular, and they did not concern themselves with anywhere outside of their own city. But a drow called Dristoerden, when there was a larger threat, did persuade them to help with a fight with a place called Mithril Hall. Now, when that occurred, the gnomes sort of revealed themselves to the world, and unfortunately for them, that had later consequences when Menzoberranzan invaded, murdered thousands of them, and took over their city. So their attitude to drow is not good. Although Drodin is friends with one, ordinarily they are very distrustful of strangers until they have earned their trust.
Okay.
And drow especially so. In fact, you know of only probably 2 drow that have ever been known to be friendly with them, and one is Drist and one is Drodin.
Can't see any reason for them to go out of their way to help Ilvara.
My concern more is if her mental state is enough for Asher to question it, then this might be similar to what we have seen in other places. The madness that seems to run through people. Firstly in Gracklestug and then at Neverlight. I wonder if it has caught now the drow, whether it's at their home or whether it has been at sea.
Potentially. Which reminds me, we were going to let the king in Gracklestug know about the imminent threat. Do any of us have the ability to message a great distance? Also, that king could put a good word in for us in Blingdenstone.
Good call.
Drodin!
Hello, sorry. I can try. Oh, I don't have anything. Or do I have something like sending?
I have sending. I just need it to prepare it, so if we're on the next day or something,
I don't
then
believe
I
I
can
have.
have it. Then I can have it prepared and use it.
If we could do that before we arrive, that I think would be a good call.
I can try and do a bit of measuring for you if you like, but yes, I can't do any long-range communiques at the moment.
So I'll send a message to the king. A quick update regarding the state of Neverlight Grove. The spreading madness. We're travelling to Blingdenstone. Could he offer any potential help or a good word? I should probably figure out whether that's 25 words, but I'll just spend more spells if I need to.
Are there enough? Yeah, there are enough words to mention the mushroom. I've forgotten its name now.
The Light Grove.
No, the Oromicus.
Oh.
That whole thing. That's a threat to him. He's closest to it.
Is Neverlight Grove one word or 2?
Ew.
Neverlight is one word.
One
Grove
word,
is 2.
and then sorry, it was the Neverlight bit that was not. So be careful of Neverlight Grove. madness spreads. The name of the one creature that I can't remember marrying the mushroom thing that I can't remember.
Boy.
Yeah, Zuxmoy marries thing we previously said.
Aramikos.
Armikos, we're at 10. Madness spreads. We're heading to Blingdenstone. Madness already there. Send good word. And then I'll do it again to like say, please send a good word for us. So I'll split it into 2. I'll do the update on Neverlight Grove as 1, and then I'll do we're heading to Blingdenstone. Could you send good word for us as the second one? So the 25 words across both should work.
Okay.
Much appreciated, Malith.
And he can reply?
Yes, I believe that you can reply to this message.
Okay. So you'll hear a reply after a while. A little while, actually. Thank you. You are most helpful. The dragon has escaped. We tried to cull it, but failed. Darrow rebelling. Civil war imminent. Blingdenstone order many acid-proof weapons. But, and then there's nothing, because he's run out of words.
But I sent 2, so could he reply to the next one when finishing off his thought?
Yeah, sure, I suppose. But I don't know why. Maybe some foe that is acidic. We'll send word for what it's worth. Safe travels, heroes of the City of Blades. I think you're
Seem to be
muted.
very happy that the dragon is.
Sorry, I went to sneeze, so I'm muted, but then I forgot I was muted. Was it acid-proof weapons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
If Malice does tell the rest of us, send
I
a
will.
little jig when he hears the dragon's escaped. The cunning.
Yes, I think the moment Jordan hears that Temper Child's escaped, there'll be a lot of him being like suddenly very on edge. Like, that dragon did really want to eat me. He seemed rather keen and quite excited about it. So he just kind of like withdraws a little bit. He becomes a little more sheepish when he's on deck. Head's a bit more on a swivel. And then after a while, I don't know what I'm doing. We'd hear the bloody thing coming if it was after me.
It would probably float quite well.
Yes, and being incredibly buoyant. The Darrow repelling, that's a problem there. Sorry, Tink, carry on.
No, carry on. It's like an idea entered my brain and went out the other ear.
I wasn't going to say much else, but the Darrow creating a civil war in Gracklestug is a bit of a problem. Thankfully, he didn't ask for help, so not exactly eager to be party to putting down a rebellion of disenfranchised people.
I wasn't with you in that city. What the hell did you do? Escape dragons, civil war?
Just
Don't
about the only
blame us.
thing. No, Well, you can blame me for a tiny piece of it. The only part I remember is I found a Darrow who was spying on us, and while chasing him, I accidentally killed him.
Quite the accident.
Yes, it was a problem. He was running up a wall, and I casted Shatter underneath his feet so that the
Oh.
wall would break, and then he died in the fall.
Okay.
And so that we then had to prove that that person was doing something illegal, or I would have been eaten by a Thumperchat.
I mean, this seems all very disastrous, but actually you could frame it another way. So they saved me from the well while he was on death row, and we turned him being on death row to us being the heroes of the City of Blades with a residence of our own set up in the city. So, all good.
All good. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad we didn't go back there now.
We would have been welcomed.
Yes, we would have been. They gave us a house and everything.
But it does sound like there's a touch of trouble in the city, and I'm imagining
Touch of trouble. Yeah.
if we were there, you'd be roped into helping something and doing something we probably don't really want to do. So it's a good job we left.
Okay. Anything else before I move on?
I'd probably ask Serdi this. What creatures do you know that are closely linked to acid?
In the Underdark or just in general?
In the Underdark? Any fiends? Is there any reason why it would be acid-resistant weapons?
Well, there are creatures that sort of ooze around like animated slime, I suppose. Oozes and slimes, aptly named. They're acid they give off acid damage, I think. Yes, they can be quite nasty that way. So, I guess there are demons that could be. One of the demon lords himself is quite nasty, called Jublex. He's quite unpleasant and in that direction. And of course, black dragons.
So these are all things that we should be keeping an eye out for, any sign of them.
Well,
If Blingdenstone are wary for any reason, we should also...
yes, I have to say though, I mean, they're possibilities, I suppose, but they're not extensive. I don't know. They're just what I know of.
Well, it's more than I knew 5 minutes ago. So thank you for your wisdom.
Welcome.
And what do we do about the drow problem? Sorry, I didn't mean to phrase it quite so bluntly, but the welcome party that we're perhaps expecting to receive.
We kill them. If we want to win favour in Blingdenstone, we can show force against the drow force. Show that we do not stand with them. We do not agree with them and their actions. And a show of force can do that. It can be a political ploy.
How they are still active there, with them being so popular. Have they struck some kind of deal, or?
Don't know if they are. We just know that she headed there. She may not have arrived yet, or may have only just arrived. They may not be in the city itself. They could be outside. They could be disguised as something else. There are any number of ways that they could have infiltrated. But she is smart and powerful and so cruel in her creativity.
And the welcome we expect to receive? Is there anything we need to address? From the
Drodin-
residents?
Jordan to spend some time here. Maybe he would be best placed as the drow face of our envoy rather than myself. I'm aware I am not everybody's cup of tea.
Depending on what's happened with my friend, I'm sure he'd be quite happy to vouch for me and travelling companions fully.
Okay.
And if the king from Gracklstug has sent word, letting them know that there are people heading their way, including 2 drow who are not of the normal drow nature, then hopefully that will do us some favour.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
We must be close now, right?
You sail for another night, so you can have a long rest. Anyone that wants one, without
yes, please.
without further issue. Jim, I've just sent you a few messages which you might want to read
Oh, thank you, sir.
on Foundry. As you get closer, Hemeth will sort of say, "Look, I'll be honest. Which way do we wish to go? My experience of Blingdenstone is limited, but we would always moor the ship nearby and then walk in. It is maybe half a day to a day, depending on pace and what animals you have, to walk in. There is the canal, but I have never used it because I understand it is in bad repair. And if we sail in, I'm not sure if we will be able to sail out easily anyway. It's a very quick way in if it's working. Our ship is small, so it's not impossible.
It depends entirely on whether it has been repaired or not. She hadn't been the last time I was there. Rumours abound that it wasn't in much better condition. From at least what I've heard in recent years. But also we would have to be somewhat prepared. I think we might be able to get into the city because of my connection with the lovely Mr. Kazook. But Ilvara and the like, I'm not so certain, especially if they're being stereotypical drow. They might be held at the gates effectively. So we might have to warn Hemeth and Darendil to keep an eye on the ship.
Okay, I mean, I heard the rumor that before the drow destroyed the city, they were very closed off before the Great War that occurred. That they have these things that they call locks, and apparently it can make a ship go uphill. Don't know how it works. I assume it's magic.
It must be magic. How can water go uphill?
Precisely.
Scientific impossibility.
Exactly. So, I mean, one thing is for
I will
sure.
point out that they have both seen me control water at this point, and I'll just be glaring at them from across the deck.
Yeah, I told you, it has to be magic.
I'm sure they must have had gnomes who could work great magic like Malice to make a ship go uphill.
Magic does not need to be divine, it can be purely science. If you're using a force, then water can go many different directions.
sure. I'd love to see it. I kind of hope it is repaired, but I don't know. What's the plan? Captain, what do you want us to do? Do we moor somewhere else and go in on foot? Do we risk the canal? What is your orders?
I don't see any point in doing any potential harm to the ship when we can avoid it.
Okay. Which means you want to go which way?
So we moor up and walk in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll make preparations. I know where that is. We should keep watch out for the drow, or are we trying to avoid them? Could they be docked there already?
Yes, very probably.
So we should be prepared for fight as soon as we dock, if not before.
Always be prepared for a fight.
Very good. Very good. Okay, I'll make preparations.
Hammers, if we can, while you're in dock there,
Mm.
there was an illithid that everyone said they met in Gracklestew. It's a bit of a long shot, but he seemed to be fairly independent and travelling around here, I think. If he happens to be in, or you hear word of him in the dock, you let me know.
An illithid, a mind flayer.
Apparently, yes. He's travelling around. They have something I quite like.
You know they eat brains, right?
He didn't seem to be doing so in Gracklestew.
This is a very good point. I'd also like to know if you see that illithid.
Did you know his name?
Grazalax.
There we go.
It's with the Society of Brilliance.
I don't know what that is, but one assumes he's not too aggressive if he was in Gracklestew, and they don't take kindly to, people eating brains, so I think he's fairly well disciplined.
I'll keep an eye out. My usual instinct when I see a mind flayer is to go the other way and leave them to it. They don't even have souls, I hear. They're like soulless. They're like living, but kind of like undead, but not, and they eat brains. Maybe that's what the Society of Brilliance is. They kind of like people with big juicy brains and eat them.
No,
steer clear is my advice.
I mean, it's probably wise advice. I'm not suggesting interact with him, but if you just hear word that he's there, can you let us know?
Yeah. If you don't want me to wait with the ship, then.
Well, I assume we'll talk to the harbour master and the other ships around while we're moored. Just meant keeping
I think maybe I've given you the impression it's a port. It's not. The ports that have been gone 1,000 years, so there are docking points. There's no settlement around them. There are the canals. Some of the ports that I've docked in are like the entrances to the old canals, but they are broken and damaged, and we just have we docking them, and then you have to walk in. So,
I apologize.
I'll be honest. I might almost be tempted, like once we drop you off, to keep sailing, and perhaps return once a day, because we would be a sitting duck. If the drow came along, we have a cannon now. We need to make preparations to fix it to the deck, so we could defend ourselves. But I would be nervous.
Emeth, your priority is keeping yourself, the crew, and this ship safe. If you feel that's necessary, that's what you should do.
Thank you,
And
Captain.
I will give him one of my clockwork scarabs. If you are in imminent danger, you can use this to send a message to me. But it is precious and not to be used frivolously, so only if absolutely required. Otherwise, could you be at the same port every day at... You don't have sundown here.
We don't. And to be fair, in my native language, the Dwegar do not have a word for frivolous, just to be clear, so you need to fear not.
What is a good time? How do you tell time?
Well, there is. I mean, many cities have magic to tell the time.
Do you have anything?
No, but there are tides of sorts. We could always come in at high tide. Give you twice a day.
Very good.
Okay. Thank you, Captain. I'll make preparations. We'll continue at full speed. Okay. Was there something else you wanted to do, Veronica?
I just wanted to send one of my clockwork scarabs to Isabon with this message. Heard you were attacked. Are you okay? Slowly remembering Orphane. I'm sorry for any pain I caused. We should talk. Can find us in Blingdenstone. Which means I am down to one clockwork scarab because Hemeth has one and I have used one.
Okay. It flies off. You will not know whether it was delivered or not, but it flies off into the distance back towards where you came from, towards where the ice sheet was. Yes. Okay. Anything else? Okay. You are good. Okay. The rest of the journey passes without incident, without problems. The wind is good. Temperature is, as always, exactly the same. And as you sail onwards, you see a shore stretched out in front of you. Huge cliff faces into rock faces, and periodically you see the flickering of lichens and mushrooms that are glowing with bioluminescence that let you see the shore more effectively. You see these huge carved entranceways into the rock, absolutely ginormous, big enough to get galleons and large ships with huge sails in. Most of them are cracked and crumbled, and rockfalls have covered them up. And as you get close, Hemeth turns the ship and begins to hug the shore. He's tacking slightly as the wind is not quite in the right direction. And after a while, you see another of these great big outcroppings. The tunnel extends a short way, and then you can see that inside it seems to have collapsed, but there is a waterway. And Hemeth sort of pulls the sails in slightly, reduces speed, and begins to put the ship in. We're almost there, Captain. Who is disembarking? Going to be on the starboard side.
All of us except for Derendil. You can keep as some muscle.
Don't you want me to go with you? I know I didn't do very well in the last fight, but I'm good for it, I'm sure. I didn't mean to, I misjudged. I got a bit lazy, but I'm up for it. I wouldn't want you all to be in peril without me.
I don't want Hemeth to be in peril without any of us.
No one's questioning your abilities, Darendil. We just we need someone we can trust here to help Emma.
We'll get the lay of the land, and then when I've found someone who makes armor, you can come with us then. You need some.
Okay. I appreciate it. I feel like I'm being very useful lately. I'm really sorry about that. I hope this won't undermine the possibility of helping me get home.
It's not the current priority. You understand?
I do. Very good. The ship pulls into the tunnel. It is huge, and you can see beautifully carved stone walkways on either side. Probably in its day, which may have been hundreds, maybe even 1,000 years ago, this was probably quite impressive, and you could probably have sailed a bigger ship than this straight through into Blingdenstone. But as it stands now, you see a sort of stone mechanical wheel in front of you, and as you look at it, it almost looks as if at some point you could have sailed a ship into it, and then it could have turned your ship around and allowed you to sail back out to sea. But now it is shattered and broken, and the canal beyond is not passable by ship. The ship pulls in. Goblins leap onto the rather broken and uneven stone surface and moor the ship. You step out onto the stone. It was probably quite beautiful once, but it has clearly been destroyed, and it looks perhaps intentional. Up ahead of you on the wheel, you see two on the opposite side to you and two on this. What looks like a statue, but it's not a statue of a gnome. It is the statue of a drow. And they are stood with their sword pointed outwards, both in identical pose.
Are there any people?
There are no people.
Has there been any sign of that drow ship on the way in?
No.
Does not bode well.
History lesson for me, anyone? Why is there a drow statue?
Wasn't here the last time I was here, was it?
You probably didn't come in this way.
Didn't someone say that Drow captured the city once? I thought Hemant was saying that.
How old does the statue look? Considering that we're in a place that looks quite beaten up, does the statue look...
It's got moss on it. It is probably a few hundred years old. It's
Okay.
quite tatty looking. It's impossible to know for sure because it's stone. You can't really date stone very easily, but it's definitely got lichen and moss
Yeah,
growing on it.
it's not a new addition.
No.
It may be from maybe a simpler power. Exactly. We drow do like to lord it over people.
We've got a bit of a trek to make, so we should probably get going, right?
Indeed. We'll stay here for we have a few hours, and then we'll head back out to sea. So if you need to come back quickly, we will still be here. Otherwise, it will be probably another 6 to 8 hours. We will come back twice a day at the high tides.
Okay.
March in order, please.
I don't mind scouting ahead.
I
Or if Drodin wants to, in case we're encountered by friendlies.
Yes, I was going to say it'd probably make most sense if I took the lead, because if we get questioned, I can name drop and at the very least lead us to Kazook's home or his workshop or something.
going to mount up on Ambrose and walk ahead of everyone else and sort of ride him ahead of everyone else, like with my Icklava pointing in the air and my shield in front of me. Like
Okay.
like
Pop yourself in marching order on out by the ship, and then I will move everyone forward.
Let's scroll in on the Twitch stream.
Sorry?
Just trying to zoom in on the Twitch stream.
Yeah, that won't work.
Dumbass.
I can do it for you if you want.
I've done it. There we go.
Okay. So Drodin up front. Tink, Serdi, Malice, and last but not least, Sevatar. And how are you proceeding? Are you just walking close bunch like that? Is anyone going ahead? How are you?
I'll probably take a very short lead.
Okay, yeah.
And we're not stealthing, right?
No, more of a jaunty walk.
Yeah, not trying to hide anything.
Where's Serdi? Can you see Ambrose?
He's
I'm
on.
riding Ambrose.
He's
Under
underneath,
Ambrose.
yeah. He's riding underneath, hanging on.
Okay,
I'm riding on the back of Ambrose now,
fair enough.
and now I can do that.
I think Malice is gonna like sink in on herself, kind of coat pulled forward. If it's got a hood, she'll kind of put the hood up so you can still see her face, so she's not trying to be too, but she's just trying to maybe disguise some of the drow appearance a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, understood. It's quite awe-inspiring and a little bit sad at the same time. This was clearly an incredible work of engineering at some point, but is just in ruin. And as you all step forward, you see the two drow statues stood with their sword extended, and a snide look on both of their faces, as if to warn you away. And then, in unison, they turn their heads and look at the lead person, who is Drodin.
Hello.
The statues begin to move.
No, stay where you are. Don't worry about me.
Initiative, please.
No,
Hey!
and I'm in front. This is not going to be a problem.
Okay, right. They seem to... They're not quick, but they suddenly come alive. The moss and the lichen drops off them as they move after what has probably been hundreds of years. And we're at the top of the round. Devatar, you see this happening before anyone else. You're up first.
I will hold an action. I will draw an arrow, knock, and I will wait for somebody to be in melee range, then I will fire when I have advantage.
Nice. Like it. Clever. Okay. Next up is one of the statues. It will march forward rather stiffly. Draw back its arm and stab forward at you, Drodin.
Please miss.
Do my best.
Try harder.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Please try
Not hard
harder.
enough.
Uh,
That's 7. It's actually bludgeoning damage. As it strikes forward, the sword has got no sharpness to it. It's just like being hit with a club. But it does swing again.
oh dear.
I know. I'm really
That's-
sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's going to hit.
3. So 10 total bludgeoning.
Ow.
Yes, I'm very sorry.
Can I
Tink, you're
take
up.
Can I take
Yeah,
that
you can
held
take
action?
you can take that held action. Yeah,
Thank you.
go for it. Oh yeah.
Okay. So 11 damage to begin with, followed by 9 sneak attack
Excellent.
damage.
Excellent. So 20 in total. You instinctively, this is not a statue, does not have organs or sensitive spots, but you instinctively aim for the joints, and it seems to work. You see cracks form in the stone. Damaged it quite significantly with that one shot as it lays into Drodin. Tink. Music's not very appropriate, is it? It's quite wondrous.
10 feet up in the air, 15 feet over there, and I will cast Fairy Fire on them.
Okay.
Oh,
Is that not where you want it?
not where I want it, no. Wait, I've got it. No.
There you go. Okay. Was it a DC 15 dex?
Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. Ooh. Do the other one.
Oh well, 1.
You got one. Yep.
It's more like it.
Just not dropped it out of. I'll put it back in initiative. It was after Sev, but yeah.
And
It
that is all I can do.
verified. Okay. Any movement or?
I took my movement.
Okay, perfect. I'll just put cursed on it because I haven't got a specific.
Has the
Okay.
poison worn off Drodin and
It has, yes. Yes. Okay, Malice.
Do they appear to be so they're statues, but they're creatures in their own right, or do they appear to be animated?
They appear to be animated.
120 feet. We'll try it. That one's on hand. I'll try it on the badly injured one. Can I try to dispel magic?
Yes.
How do do that?
Oops.
So yeah, it
Okay,
depends on what spell level.
What
it
level are
is.
you casting it at?
I'm casting it at. Oh, it doesn't say, so I think it's a 3rd level spell. So that's what I've
Okay.
cast it as.
Okay. Gonna make an ability check. Not that this thing really has Arcana because it didn't cast the spell. So
You are fucking kidding me.
breach spell. So the DC. I think
4th level or higher on the target. Make an ability check using your spell. So do I make?
you make the ability check. Sorry. Yeah, there is a
Yeah,
DC.
this is
There
why
is a
I'm
DC. So
confused about this. So
you need to roll an Arcana check, I think. Make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. Yeah, so use just you make an ability check.
Arcana.
Yeah. You would know that it is quite a high level spell to animate this, but it's not impossible.
Is it as a cleric? Is it intelligence
It's
or
wisdom.
wisdom?
Wisdom, yeah.
So if I just do a wisdom check.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be more than that because you should have your proficiency as well, which should be what, 4 or 3?
Proficiency is 3.
3. Okay. It is enough. You see that statue has slammed into Drodin and hit him twice with this stone sword, and then as you hit it with the magic, it just seems to freeze in place. It is
I'll,
no longer moving.
I'll announce to everyone that they're just statues, but there's a spell upon them. So if you can dispel it, please do.
Excellent. Nice move. Nice move. Sturdy.
I'm going to stay mounted on Ambrose. So it's okay to move us both together. I shall move round in front of Drodin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm sure he would appreciate that, I'm sure.
I think Drodin would be going, no, go to the opposite side of me.
Well, I'm going to stand in the way of the other one too. Well, I'll move Ambrose when I can. And I'll stand there, and this one next to me is now inactive, so I shall stand guarding Drodin and spit acid at the other.
Okay.
DC 14 Dex saving throw.
For the one that's off, or the one that's next to you?
Oh, is the one that's... Sorry, is the one... I thought the one that was next to me is the one that's off.
It is off, yeah.
Yes, no, so the other one.
Seem to be rolling really good dex saves today. Oh, no.
Never mind. Nothing happened.
You couldn't make it up.
I shall stand there then and guard Drodin.
No, Sturdy, move out of the fucking way.
Okay. As you move forward and you spit, and it's just timing. It doesn't really dodge, to be honest. It just seems to take a step at just the right moment. You see the huge boulder on the ground behind it, and it seems to unfurl and stand, and you realize that it is not a stone.
Oh, fuck.
It is an earth elemental.
Sturdy, never mind. Stay where you are.
And its eyes are glowing a bright red.
Matt, could you move Serdi up after me in the initiative? Sorry, Ambrose. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oh yeah. Do you need to do him, don't you?
Yeah, I need to move him to where I am because I'm riding him. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you. Still on Malice's turn though.
Oh, I skipped too many. Go for it.
There we go. All sorted.
There we go. Guess that's good timing. This Earth Elemental seems furious and almost barges the Drow statue out of the way as it charges far too far and lunges at you, Serdi. That's a 26 to hit.
Definitely hits. Definitely hits.
It's 15 bludgeoning damage. Second attack. It's a 23 to hit.
That also hits.
I say, God damn.
That is another 16 points of damage.
Ow!
Holy shit.
Indeed. But that is
Don't worry
a-
about the statues. Get rid of that thing.
Drodin.
I'm going to cast Shatter at 4th level.
Okay. Go for it.
Up here.
About there. Okay, nice.
So
I thought that only worked on gnomes.
It can work on more than gnomes. So 2 DC 15 con saves, please.
Okay.
Bugger. Well, it's still half damage.
Okay.
Also, for shits and giggles,
Okay.
I'm going to use a feature I've never used before now. How about a nice little psionic feedback?
Go for it. Remember, you have to take the damage as well.
I also take the damage. So let's roll it. Eee.
Four.
I take a whole 4 damage.
Well, you take it for each one you hit. So,
Oh yeah, so I take 8 damage.
Yeah, but so do they.
So that's
Okay.
and then I'm going to scoot backwards a little bit because I presume this one to the side of me isn't going to hit
So
me.
just to let you know, the statue does not take any psychic damage because it does not have a mind. The Earth Elemental, however, does.
Well,
And
bugger. I just gave myself a migraine for no reason.
and even though the Earth Elemental passed its saving throw, it still seemed to do all of the damage.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. Yeah, thunder damage is a good call. Sorry, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
You've just scooted out of there. Fair play. Drow statue kind of lumbers forward slowly and attacks your Drake, Serdi, rather than you. Does not seem to differentiate. It is bigger than you. It's an 18 to hit.
I've just remembered something because I'm a dumbass.
Ah.
I'm a smooth-brained dumbass. Shatter. Anyone who, if a creature is made out of a material like stone, crystal, or metal, they get disadvantage on the saving throw.
Oh, okay. I will.
So I think both of them should have rolled with disadvantage.
I will allow it. That's fine.
Sorry, it's my.
It's okay.
My smooth
It's okay.
brain.
Well, the statue failed anyway,
Yes.
so it's just the Earth Elemental. Okay, it failed. Okay, I will. So with the psionic feedback, you only take 4 because the statue had no mind, so it didn't take any damage. So you didn't take any damage.
Oh, cracking! I give myself 4 hit points back.
Yeah. There we go.
That's
Yeah, that
an
was
extra 20 damage. 10.
Yeah, devastating. You see it begin to crack and crumble. Definitely very, very damaging.
I'm glad I remembered. eventually.
So Serdi, that's 7 points of damage on your little mount. The second attack. Wow, the dice are not being kind tonight.
Okay. Another
And
6.
another 6.
Is that Ambrose as well?
That's both to Ambrose, yeah.
Okie doke.
He's still alive, isn't he? She?
He's not got that many hit points less than me, to be honest.
Sev.
New target in town. The big stony thing.
Yeah.
Let's shoot something at that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the arrow does 12 points piercing. With some sneak attack damage
Ooh.
of 19. And I will tuck in a little Whales from the Grave. And
Okay.
do 2d6 to the nearby statue.
Mm-hmm.
Necrotic, that is. I don't know if it's got any resistance.
Okay.
So, what you'll see is as the arrow hits the big earth elemental at a completely different and random angle, there'll be sort of like a tear in reality, and this sort of shadowed arrow just comes through at a completely different angle and hits the statue at the same time.
Nice. Is sneak attack physical damage? Sorry, I should have
Yes,
asked.
I think it's the same as what weapon you're using. So, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, it doesn't do quite as much
Yeah,
then.
no,
But
that's
it's still quite a devastating hit.
Yeah.
Still quite a devastating hit. It is looking quite badly injured already. Literally stood up, and before you know it, it's well below half health. Animated statue is deactivated. It does nothing. Tink.
I take a step to my right and line up. You know I can't control where these lines go, but you can guess where I'm going.
Yeah, I know what you. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is a DC 15 deck. I can't keep making these deck saves. No. That's quite poor roll. I've got 0.
Good.
Both failed. Nice.
It's a bit crap. But please remember.
You've got any extra?
No, just please remember that unless they use their action to scrape the acid off, they'll take 2d4 acid at the start of their turns.
Okay. Brilliant. I shall remember. Anything else?
Oh.
No. Okay. Malice.
Yeah, the statue's near death, isn't it? They're deadly injured.
Yep.
Let's not bother with a higher level spell then. We'll just go for the Earth Elemental Guising Bolt.
Nice.
Let's see if it hits.
Oh yeah, that hits. Nice.
14 radiant, and I will move out of kind of a general line just in case.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've got no good bonuses, so that'll just be my go.
Okay. Good turn though. I was on the big one, wasn't it? Sorry.
Yes, big one.
Yeah.
The elemental.
Yeah. Cool. Serdi.
Okay, I'm going to stab at it with my Actually, no. I shall cast Hunter's Mark on it first,
Okay, good call.
and then I shall stab at the big Earth elemental.
Nice,
there it is.
nice. There it is. Go for it.
25 damage.
Okay, and how much of that is physical?
That's all physical because Hunter's Mark. So I think it's like sneak attack. It just adds the type of damage you're doing. So it's all piercing, I think, with the.
It's all what? Even Hunter's Mark. I thought Hunter's Mark was magical damage.
Check.
Just check for me because it will.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Just
Nice.
adds an extra 1d6 damage to the target with weapon
Okay.
attack. I think it's whatever the weapon attack damage is. It just adds an extra d6 of it.
Okay.
So
I
with
mean,
the-
it's a brutal blow that would have probably felled a lesser creature, but this thing is like hitting a brick wall, quite literally. But I think you've got a second attack.
I do not so successful.
That is a miss, unfortunately, or rather, you hit it, but it is like hitting a brick wall. It just clangs off it.
No problem. I think Ambrose will then try and grab its leg and sort of pull it out as well. Grab its leg and
Yep.
lift it.
Oh,
No.
it cannot get grip.
I'm not very hitty, am I?
It's got very chunky thighs, this thing.
one crit. I've missed most of the things all night. Last week was the same. Never mind.
I know. Well, at least I've stopped rolling very high saves on things that have got minuses.
What I am doing is keeping them from hitting everyone else, which is the main thing.
Yeah. If you just stand in the way, that's good
Yeah.
enough for me.
Yeah.
Well, while you're on that subject, incoming,
Oh,
the Earth Elemental is going to hit you back.
Fair enough. That hits. Is it to me or Ambrose?
It's to you.
Okay.
It's 10 points of damage, bludgeoning, second attack on you as well. That is only a 10,
That's
so it's a
really good.
miss. It is weakened and failing.
I have failed my con saving throw, so I lost concentration on Hunter's Mark there.
Noted, thank you. Drodin.
Hello.
Hello.
So, I would like to use that lovely feature of. Oh, is there any point? Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to use that lovely feature of mine to replace the damage of a Scorching Ray with thunder damage from Shatter, because that's
Nice.
effective.
Yes.
And I'm going to cast it at the normal level.
Okay.
So it will be 1 against the Earth Elemental,
Yep.
which is 15.
Yeah, and Veronica, you also need to. 15 is a miss. Unfortunately, you also need to roll your acid damage because it's not wiping the acid off. 18 is a hit.
Good.
Okay. 9.
So 6 from Tink, and then 9 thunder damage so far.
Well,
Mm.
it begins to sizzle and burn with the acid, and you see it losing cohesion. And as you hit it with a scorching ray, it goes down. It drops. The combination of the scorching ray and the acid, it is gone. In that split moment, as you see it die, its eyes, which were red, flicker and change to this kind of natural-looking green, and then it dies.
It maybe feels slightly bad now,
With
but I'm
baddies?
still going to. No, we're not stepped. And then I'm going to throw the last bolt at the drow statue. Oh,
Okay.
tasty!
What's that crit?
Yeah,
Go for it. Roll damage. I mean, it. 15. Yeah, definitely die. It was going to die with the acid damage if it got to its turn, but how do you want to do it?
I think it this weird, like, sonic bolt is just going to slam into the side of it, and there'll be like this loud, like, crack of, I guess, just like metal violently snapping, and with it being weakened by Tink's lovely acid, it's just going to kind of like balloon out and unravel and just like get flung backwards into these like melting pieces.
And with that, it is no more. The earth elemental just looks like a pile of stone and mud.
Teamwork, Tink. High five.
We are out of combat.
The high five. Just because we're both quite weak, right? Oh, you've got better.
I have weak noodle arms.
Can we do a contested strength check just to see if he pushes me back, just out of flavour?
Sure. Go for it. Are you hovering in the air?
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I've got 16.
Yeah. I just like the idea. The high five. I go whoop.
She's very small. Don't forget.
and flying.
Yes. But combat is ended.
Right, on we go. Boo.
Rodin, wait.
Oh, sorry.
Malice, or anyone, really. That earth elemental was clearly affected by something. Can you tell what or how or why? Similarly, Drodin, these statues were animated. Can you take a closer look?
I can pore over things a little bit. I don't know how much I'll learn from them now. I can do my best.
I'm going to give myself. Are we stopping here for a minute to rest by any means? Because those things. I'm fairly bruised here.
Plymouth is still in port. You can just get into your bunk if you wish.
We'll have a short rest then here and recover from that little fight.
Well, there are another 2 statues across the way.
Oh, for
It's
goodness
just we
sake.
don't go across the way.
So we'll give them a wide berth.
We can leave it there if you like, or you can investigate them now, or we can do it at the start of the next session.
I'll do it at the next session.
Okay. Well done. If there's anything else you want to do before we finish, please do now.
Regretting bravely running to the front there.
Are you badly hurt?
Badly injured. Yes.
Oh, really?
Be a wimp with the rest of us.
But then everyone's a wimp.
So we've been in 2 biggish fights now, taken no damage so far. I'm not making that a challenge. I'm just.
See, this is what happens when you don't bring Derrindale.
He doesn't
Darrendel's not here. I've got to step up. I was like, oh, ow.
Again, he's still on the ship. I can get him if you would like.
It's okay.
I don't mind moving up to the front, but my armor class is only 15. I mean, I'll come and sort of spot you a little bit.
I am the best equipped of all of us to be stood at the front.
Sudi, you're
Yeah, but if
wearing...
you're taking everything, it's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a lot. Yeah.
Sudi,
I
you're...
can-
Oh, carry on. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, Sudi, are you wearing the scale mail that Sev retrieved for you? What were you wearing before that?
Normal scale mail.
Normal scale mail.
Yeah, it hasn't changed my armor class. It's not magic, but what it has done is given me normal scale mail gives you disadvantage in stealth checks. So the new fancy scale mail has given me advantage in stealth checks,
Ooh.
which has made me semi-broken. I have to say.
No, it's +2. It should be +2, not advantage.
The thing advantage. Oh, okay, +2. That's even worse because I'm now +12 stealth.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It's not advantage. It shouldn't be advantage. You might have advantage with something else because that's not the armor.
Might I be able to take your scale mail from you, your old suit?
Of course.
I'll do a little bit of fixing to make it
A
fit,
lot bigger.
considering, yes, differences in stature.
It's not going to fit you, I don't think. I mean, I think the drow stuff's probably a bit big on Serdi. You can adjust it, but I would say you're going to need to get it adjusted before you can.
I have a set of Tinker's tools. I could do a bit of work for him.
Yeah, next time you stop somewhere or you're
Can I-
in a city, for example.
Can I give it to him? How do I do that?
What are you trying to give him?
My old
Yeah.
scale mail.
Okay.
A non-stealthy scale mail.
See, going forward, I might be able to help you somewhat if you do have to be the one on the front line.
Thank you. I mean, I
And
can.
we're all going to like it, but I'm going to do it.
Oh no, I don't like the sound of that.
I can help myself to some extent, but I also feel I should contribute to the damage we deal as well. If I'm healing myself, I can't do that.
Blingdenstone, considering it is referred to as bling and stone, a place in which we might be able to find jewels, precious metals, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
I'll need
are-
to do a little bit of shopping when we get there.
They, in fact, Drodin would know that Blingdenstone they're renowned miners. They mine gems, precious metals. They're not necessarily as good at working it, which is probably why they've ordered acid-resistant weapons from Gracklestew, because they can get the materials, but they're not smiths. But Drodin would know that their major export is something called spell gems, which are a very rare and precious kind of gem which can be used to store magic. You can literally store spells in them. But
Okay.
it costs quite a lot of money, so it's their major trade.
There's a few, now we've leveled up, there's a few spell components I could do with. So.
Okay. Is it nothing you can use? Nothing you can't gather or forage? I take it.
Like we might have something already in the ship, but I'll message you.
Unless it's got a monetary value, I'm happy
It
for
has
you
a
to just
monetary.
have it. Okay.
No, it's got a monetary value, hence
Okay.
I need to buy it.
Sure. That's fine. Okay. Well, we'll wrap up there then.
Excellent.
We'll pick up next week as we enter the city of Speaking Stones for the first time. Get to meet some gnomes and show gnome mercy.
Give yourself
Well done.
advantage, Matt,
Well done.
and then take it away, because
And before we switch off, I'd just like to say, fuck you, Buppido.
You did completely butcher him.
He's gonna come back because he's a little dickhead.
I was gonna say he's going to just be the repeated villain.
Yeah.
Every so often, Fido's going to appear and go, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
He's
I
like
know.
that terrible ex-boyfriend who just won't leave you be. You've moved on. Just
Let it go.
go away.
Told you already. Get over it.
You're the angry one now.
I'm completely there for it. So when the periodically appears and we butcher every time, he keeps coming back.
I know.
Just a flesh wound.
Well, that's a fight because you played it really well. I think if that was originally planned, and I'm going to show you the map because there was multiple potentials of how that went. One of which was this one. So it would have been ship to ship with cannons. Admittedly, they would be very slow at firing them because they're quite slow anyway, and zombies are not very skilled. So there was a chance of them misfiring and blowing themselves up and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, it would have been quite a lot of zombies plus Buppido ship to ship. So it would have been a very different fight, but you played it so smartly and so cleverly.
It's a
Because
great map.
he's quite nasty. He's quite nasty. He did have a lot of little tricks and a couple of legendary
Yeah,
actions.
them worm things were quite nasty as well once they managed to connect.
Well, that's the thing. No one failed the save. The save is quite low, but if you get infected by one of those, it can be. That's it. It can be it. But those things are related to Orcus.
It's like
So,
ringworm.
The
Yeah.
tapeworm of death.
Yeah, and I think it says burrowing
Athlete.
worm.
Athlete's foot of Orcus.
So yeah, if it hits you while on the target skin, the worm can be killed. So you can hit it and kill it, but otherwise the worm goes under your skin, dealing 1 piercing damage. At the end of each of its turns, the target takes 2d6 necrotic damage per worm infesting it, maximum of 10d6. And if it drops to 0 hit points, it dies and rises 10 minutes later as another of these creatures.
Oh, no.
If a worm-infested target is targeted by an effect that... Oh, well, yeah, but I'm not going to read that bit. But, yeah, effectively, you could characters could die with that, but the chance is low. So you played it really, really smart. I think that fight could have been quite brutal if it was on their terms, but beautifully you put it, you had it on your terms. You used great combination of spells and tactics, and I just thought, yeah, you deserved a really good win there.
Yeah,
Definitely
that's cool.
deserved it.
That's cool.
So well done. But yes, we will enter the city proper next time.
Excellent.
Thank you. I should
Looking
stop the
forward to
stream.
seeing Blingdenstone.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I'll give you another sneak peek because it's pretty.
Imagine those little statues of dark gnomes around with lots of gold chains around their necks.
It's nice. It's
is
a nice
pretty.
city.
Oh yeah, it's pretty city, isn't it?
Yeah.
City of Light, supposed to City of Blaze.
This is the city. Well, it was called the City of Speaking Stones, but I don't. That was a long time ago. So,
Or Hitty, the speaky, in our experience.
yeah. The city of getting splattered by earth elementals, as it is at the moment. But yeah, so there you go. We will head there next time. So
Super
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.